Hey babies, me Nana, and we're going to read tonight Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, Jack and the Beanstalk. This is an old fairy tale. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's a very old fairy tale, I was saying, before I was sneezing. Okay. This is illustrated by David Wariner and adapted by Ashley Crownover. There's little Jack and his cow. Okay, just a little bit. Once upon a time, there was a poor widow and her only son, Jack. Life was very hard for them, ever since a giant had killed Jack's father. At last, all Jack and his mother had left was their cow. One day, Jack's mother said sadly, "We have nothing left to eat and no money for food, Jack. You must take the cow to the market and sell her." Aww. The cow's scared. Jack loved his cow and didn't want to sell her, but he knew there was no other choice. Jack set out early the next day for the market. On the way, Jack met a mysterious old man who offered him 5 dazzling rainbow-colored beans in exchange for the cow. "They're magic," the man said. Jack agreed to the trade. Yeah. And Jack ran home to show his mother the amazing beans. "Trading a cow for 5 worthless beans," she said. "Now we'll starve." She threw the beans out the window, and they both went to bed hungry. Hungry Jack. When Jack woke the next morning, he found that an enormous beanstalk had sprung up outside the window. He quickly began to climb it, going higher and higher until at last he reached the top. Where's the top of that mountain? There Jack saw an enormous castle. A giant woman answered the castle door, and Jack said, "I'm very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "No," said the woman. "You must go away. My husband the giant is very mean, and he will eat you." But Jack begged, and finally the giant's wife let him in. Just then they heard a loud thump, 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 thump. "He's coming," the woman cried. "Hide in the oven." Jack jumped into the oven, which is not very smart. Jumped into the oven. Don't jump into the oven. The giant came in, shouting, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. Look out, human, here I come. Eyes, ears, hands, and feet. I smell something good to eat." "Ooh." "Nonsense," said his wife. The giant sat down and called for his magic hen. "Lay," he roared, and the hen had laid a golden egg. Then the giant dozed off, and Jack crept out of the oven, snatched up the hen, and ran away as fast as he could. Ooh, run, Jack, run. He climbed down the beanstalk and took the hen to his mother. Jack and his mother are well and lived happily by selling the hen's golden eggs. But it wasn't long before Jack became curious and decided to climb the beanstalk again to seek more treasure. Curiosity gets to Jack. He returned to the castle and knocked on the big door. "May I come in?" asked Jack. "No," said the giant's wife. "The last time I helped you, you stole my husband's hen." But Jack begged, and the giant's wife let him in. Just then they heard a loud thump, thump, thump. "Quick," said the giant's wife, "hide in this kettle." The giant came in, shouting, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. Look out, human, here I come. Eyes, ears, hands, and feet. I smell something good to eat." "You're always saying that," his wife replied. "Come eat your supper." Oh, let me show you the picture on. Come eat your supper. After supper, the giant got out his magical harp. "Play," demanded the giant, and the golden harp began to play all by itself. After a while, the giant fell asleep, snoring loudly. Jack jumped out of the kettle, grabbed the harp, and ran. The harp cried out, "Master, master!" The giant awoke. Ooh. Jack climbed down the beanstalk, with the giant close behind him. As Jack neared the bottom, he cried, "Mother, bring the axe!" Come on, Mama. Jack jumped to the ground and took the axe. He struck the beautiful beanstalk as hard as he could. It was a beautiful beanstalk. As hard as he could. Down came the beanstalk, and down came the giant. So all ended well for Jack and his mother. And as for the wonderful beanstalk, it never grew again. So that was the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. And Mother and Jack lived happily ever after. But not the giant. Because he fell down and went boom. Okay, guys. That's the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. See you next time. I love you.